Hi, I'm Pantazi. Today we're going to bring you a film to demonstrate the purpose and the potentials of two fists of the mantis style. Now I know I've done a lot of videos lately on the mantis style, but once I started answering the question, it kind of intrigued me and I went with it. So anyway, the two fists are the ginger fist, okay, and the shokin. Now, when you're doing this, it's very important to realize that this fist in particular, the ginger fist from the mantis style, works as a reversal strike, okay? Now, a lot of people, when they join the martial art, they always think of the ballistic outward type of a striking action, and they don't consider reversing those actions. As a matter of fact, even the making of the fist has two actions. It's got the outward ballistic and it's got the inward grasping, seizing action. And that's what happens when you're using the ginger fist into the shokin. You can see that rotation of the knuckles and how much power it would put into it. Now, when we did the filming for the demonstration, we're going to go into a couple different strikes that cause altered consciousness. And one of the reversals is coming back with this type of an action, just pulling right back with that ginger fisted action, okay, and then coming right back in with a whipping type of a shokin action. Now, as we're doing this, the potential is really great, and it doesn't have to be as a ballistic strike, a ballistic strike coming back. What it could be is also a grinding, okay, going into the temporal nerve, as you'll see on the demonstration, and also into the grasping, seizing type of an actions. Now, this fist is basically for striking, again, not forward type of striking, reverse type striking, but that's not the only reversal that it has. Now, in my Wing Chun films, you'll see that I use the bonsao as a means not just of blocking or parrying or the sensitivity that you're doing when you're doing chi sao, but also as a striking action. Now, I use blood pool hand because I like it. I use it. I've developed my art around the 6G hands of the bubishi, the blood pool hand being one. But the same knuckle action of these two knuckles here, striking, is inherent in the ginger fist as well. So if we took that strike and we rotated it, okay, you can come into the mental nerve, the facial nerve, you can come into the nerves that come along the eye, right on the side of the nose. As a matter of fact, clipping the infraorbital nerve right on the side of the nose is really nice to tag with that. Now, it also hurts, okay, but that's the martial arts. So anyway, when we're doing this type of an action with the ginger fist, you got some great potentials that you couldn't otherwise get when you were using other hand positions, except for blood pool hand, which is basically the same concept. So again, let's take a look at the demonstrations and let's take a look at the underlying nerves we could be affecting using the ginger fist and the shokin. I've done a lot of work on, but we'll see a little bit of work with that as well. So thanks for coming into these extended videos. I really appreciate your support. Now, this came from a question from a YouTube message. And I like to answer these questions for people because there's just so much we're doing in the martial arts with movements that we really can't understand or explain. And usually what happens in a karate style in particular is they call it a block. You have this action from one of the hyans or pinyans, and it's always called the block for a kick to the back of your head. But it wouldn't really work that well because you have no strength to stop a kick coming forward. With the muscles coming back, you're just not strong enough to stop a leg, especially on a full-blown power kick. So it doesn't make sense at all. So we have to find some other applications for it, and I have one. And later on, I'm going to be doing a questionnaire for you guys, okay, using this movement. We'll call it the series, What's This? And we'll take different moves from katas. If you have a suggestion, I really appreciate it. Now, I know I'm babbling here instead of letting you watch the demonstration and the breakdown, the physiological and anatomical breakdowns that we're going to be doing for these actions and the extended film. So I just wanted to let you know that I do appreciate your support. It helps me keep going with these and coming up with different ideas. Your questions help a lot too, because there's just so much you can come up with off the top of your head to babble on. But people have some great questions out there. This question from Master Shannon on the mantis fists led into 3 or 4 films for you. So it gave you different perspectives, different ideas that you could utilize in your own punches, your own styles, your own forms, your own kumite. And yes, these are very applicable for kumite too. If we were in a clinch position coming in with that ginger fist coming up over the top to pop the person in the mental nerve, the facial nerve, the transverse cervical nerve, they're all viable, okay? And this in particular on that transverse cervical nerve, if I was striking in this area, digging down with a twisting action on the neck in through here, you could also then reverse it, okay? Or from this position, you could grab onto the throat and twist it to cause a tearing and breaking of the windpipe itself. See, there's so many things you could go and do with these fists. It's not just limited to what we show here on YouTube, obviously, and it's not just limited to one concept. You have to really dig into it and let yourself imagine what they could be. And the biggest key for those is the applicable application for yin and yang. Not just looking at the one position as a fist and being a bludgeon, but also the clenching of the fist, which is what Kempo originally stood for too, the clenched fist, is the idea of just grasping and seizing as well. So again, taking that one key, you can break down your martial arts style no matter what style it is. No, even if you don't do Kyusho. Kyusho just helps you get viable targets and give you a focus on how to maybe use that a little bit more detailed or fine-tuned to get the best potential and effect out of it. So I'm done babbling here. I could babble on for a long time, but here's the demonstration film, and then we'll do the anatomical study at the end.